Hello, you guys, and welcome to this What Does 2023 Have in Store for You? Pick a card reading. This is basically something that's being highlighted, a general energy, an overview of an energy that will be present throughout your 2023 in one way or another. That Spirit wants to put an emphasis on today, basically, all right? So if you feel drawn to more than one pile, as always, go ahead and just choose what sticks out to you. If none stick out to you, then listen to that as well. This might not be your reading, right? But we've got pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3 here, and we're going to go ahead and start with pile 1. Timestamps are below in the comment section. And you guys, please remember, if something doesn't resonate, if something feels very negative or confusing for you, you always have the power to choose to cancel, clear, reject, or not take that information on. Nobody can actually tell you or put upon you what your path or your future or your life is. That's part of the advantage of having free will, all right? So with that being said, we will begin with group 1. Hello, group 1, and welcome to What Does 2023, this year ahead, have in store for you. Please remember to only take what resonates. If something feels really negative for you or it's not what you're hoping for, don't worry about this. This is just one overview, one energy, and you are not obligated to take it on, okay? Nice. So you've got this Angel of Strength energy. And you've also got this energy of ocean and bravery in reverse here, all right? Right off the bat, we get this energy of being protected, of being strong with this strength. There's also a feeling of not having to go through so much turmoil or so much. There's very much like a grounded or a standing your ground type of energy, maybe not having to go through so much movement or upheaval or some kind of intense, let me just show you this image. You see how she's balancing. It's a bit unstable, but she's balancing as she has to continue to try to balance on the globe as it spins, and there's all this winter here, and there's a feeling of a kind of a challenging energy, and I feel like you're being kind of, you've both developed and you're being bestowed with, if you could put it that way, this very strong energy, this very knowing kind of energy, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and also tell you what this card says here. So basically this says there's going to be a time of increasing power for you, okay? This won't be a time where you are feeling passive or submissive, but that you're going to want to speak your truth, to take action on your own behalf. They are also capable of taking greater control and directing your own destiny, for the power that comes from within reaches to the universe and beyond, which makes sense seeing this in reverse, because it's like she's kind of at the mercy of the way that this is floating in the water and the globe is spinning in the seasons. But here it's like, you know, you're more in your energy and your decision. This also says inner strength and unlimited resourcefulness flow through you. They will be flowing through you, helping you to create real results, tangible results, okay? If you ever want, you can call on this angel and your own inner resourcefulness and higher self to bring in, or just your inner self, your inner child, your strength can bring you this focus and resolve to do what's necessary in order to make your dreams a reality, okay? So a lot of determination here, very strong energy, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and pull a couple more cards for you here. For group 1, what is going on? Anything else you'd like to say, Spirit, about these energies? I feel like your mind is clear. You're clear. It's like you've developed some kind of a thinking process, or a clarity of thought is very much present with you as well. Just looking at this picture here, the way the glow is around her head, it's like there's a real clarity with what you're thinking and what you know, and the knowledge that you've gained, especially about yourself, about your path. Very fierce energy. There's a lot of Leo energy here as well. So Leo season, or the influence of the energy of Leo, could be really enhanced in this year, okay? So for group 1, what else is going on in 2023? What else does 2023 have in store for them? Nice. Victory and success, kind of similar to that strength energy. So this is especially on a spiritual level. Intuitively, energetically, you could really feel that victory and that success coming. You could feel the dawning of a new cycle, a new age in a sense. You've also got this love begins. That's very emotional energy right there, very heart-centered energy. So even if this isn't literally a relationship or the beginning of love, it can be the exploration of your emotional world, the outpour of your heart, of your emotions, the release, maybe connections that mean a lot, or a specific connection that really means a lot to you, okay? I do feel like there is a lot of love and loving energy, even if it's not romantic love. There's just that vibe of love and loving energy around, okay, which is really beautiful, very strong. Anything else going on for you guys here? Anything else that 2023 has in store for you? I also feel you'll be triumphant over people that have tried to mess with your head, whether that's like family or just the world, society, people that you've known, that you've been connected to or not. Like, it's just people that could try to mess with your head. I feel like, yeah, you're very clear about your truth. You're getting a lot of clarity this year, a lot of truth. You're maybe bringing the truth forwards, and you're getting it as well. You're seeing the realities, at least, you know, for you, about a lot, okay, about a lot of situations. You could be very triumphant as well, and just really obtaining and standing by, sticking to that truth, okay? And this truth can be in many different, I mean, this can rule your entire life, many other facets of life, you know, your dreams, your preferences, who you are as a person, what you actually want to do, where you want to go, what you want to decide. You know, it can be a lot of different things here. Anything else about what 2023 has in store for you? Nice. You could be in a lot, you could feel like you're in charge this year. You could have a lot more control. You could be in a lot more of a position of power or control within your life, especially. All right, that's the biggest message I'm getting for you guys, and it's really strong. It's really beautiful. You could be dealing with some kind of authority, but I feel that you are the authority, essentially. I really feel you breaking out of confines, out of boxes, out of societal norms, or even hierarchical systems and situations, which is super cool. All right, I also feel like you're coming to a resting point. It's like you might not be gathering as much knowledge this year, but you're utilizing the knowledge that you have gained, you know, and you're standing strong in that knowledge, which is beautiful. All right, anything, sorry, Crystal, anything that you would like to point out about who they might be dealing with in 2023? Guys, also remember, you can always email us, frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com, for personal reading inquiries. It's the only way to set up a reading with us currently. So be careful out there. Don't fall for anybody who's scamming or something. Who are you going to be dealing with in 2023? Who are you dealing with in 2023? A bit is unknown here. Or it's known, but it doesn't want to make it itself known, just for you to experience. And I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like there could be really somebody new this year that is very important or very integral, very special for you, okay? This is probably somebody you don't know. Somebody kind of brand new, brand stinking new, at least in this life. Nice. You could be dealing with the end of air energies in your life. Okay, so not all, just if there's certain people in your life who are air signs, sun, moon, or rising, especially, that you dealt with a long time. I'm really thinking on family here, okay, a lot, but it doesn't have to be. I feel you will finally admit defeat, or they will, or there will be that end, kind of that completion type of energy with them, okay? You could really be dealing with cutting off communication with those that you don't want to communicate with anymore, and finally seeing that come to fruition. It's very, very possible here, okay? Anything else about who you're dealing with in 2023? Yeah, there could be a lot connected to the mother here. You could be dealing with Capricorn energy as well. I see that Saturn influence. You could be dealing with somebody that, this could either be you have to choose, but I really feel like this is mother energy here. You could be weighing the pros and cons of situation, you know, just trying to decide, judging a situation to decide, is this, right for me? Is it not? What do I want to do here? But you could be dealing with, I still get there's some sort of a finality about this. This feels like a mother energy, or an energy that is, if it's not a mother, it's somebody who can be very suffocating or overwhelming at times. She has two in her life, or two children, or two pets, or two of something here, but she could very much be somebody who's a bit judgmental. This is an earthy kind of energy, somebody who's very selective, very picky and choosy. This is okay, this is not, that type of an energy. Could also be that you're dealing with a shared resource situation. Could also be that you are dealing with raising two children, two animals, two of something, two ideas into the world. Yeah, and there is something about like your shared resources here that could be present. Something about like roommate, or who you live with, or where you live. Okay. I feel something kind of you standing your ground, of course, as we said, but also something kind of maybe closing up here. Anything to add here? I think you're going to start aligning with people. I really think you're going to start aligning with people this year who get you. And not just get you, they receive you, they get you, and they meet you back. They meet you at a similar level. And I think this is going to be very helpful to you. Some of these people could already be around, but it's like that you suddenly wake up and recognize it, and it's like, or you just, one day you're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't need to isolate myself, or I can connect to these people, or these people can help me. It's kind of that vibe that I'm seeing here. All right. So you guys, in general, it looks like 2023 is very focused on you rising up, standing your ground, being in a position where you have a lot more control, strength, clarity of mind and thought. You put your foot down, okay? Things naturally feel a bit more stable in certain ways because of that, because it's within your control in a sense, or within your own grasp. Yeah, I do feel a lot of action here this year as well. And I don't think you're going to forgive easily this year. I don't know if this is going to be the time frame of like really doing the forgiveness for you as much as it is first getting away from something, or first standing your ground about something, or understanding something. And that way you may hold this for a time. You may hold your emotional feelings about something for a time, but they may help you and help fuel your movement forwards, help fuel your understanding and your knowing. So they're not there for no reason. All right. I don't feel a lot of like new beginnings in romantic love here. Okay, even though you had the love begins, I think that this love begins might be, it doesn't mean you won't have a new romance or something this year by any means. And this reading isn't focused on love. We did a love reading, I think it was the last reading or the reading before here, if you want to check that out. But I do feel like there's more of a focus on your rising up, on your carving your path and fighting for what is your reality and your truth, and that protective self-protection and that protective energy. There's a lot bigger focus on that than there is falling in love or something with a new person or that here. Okay, and the love begins, I just feel it means a lot of different things. Yes, it could definitely come romantically, but more than anything, that's going to be, if so, it's going to be a very supportive partnership, very focused on that support, that emotional support, that spiritual support, that mental support. Okay, so I do feel like you're going to get support in whatever form that you could benefit from having it or need it. Wow, Four of Wands. And that is also, Four of Wands is the card of marriage, contracts, deep commitments, leases. You could be joining forces with somebody at a distance here, unifying with someone or something, running towards someone or something that you want to unify with. But again, it's very focused on you doing that rather than the union itself, if it makes sense. Even if you feel focused on that union, it's very focused on your strength in all that you do, basically your ability. Let's say, for example, somebody finally is like puts their foot down and you put your foot down in a situation of a bunch of people, like family or something, that have been, I know I go back to family a lot in this reading, it does not have to be family, but people that have been harassing you, bullying you, suppressing you, whatever. And you just put your foot down and you say no, and you just run towards what you feel, whether that's a person, a thing, a place, a feeling itself, and in that way you come together with and you unify with, in such a deep way, that thing, that challenge, that obstacle, that resolve that finally understands you. It's a really beautiful energy, and I feel like you can do almost anything with this strength this year that you want to do. All right, so beautiful reading, you guys. Wishing you a lovely new year. As it is, I'm recording this today on the 31st, so lots of love, lots of wellness. Take care. Hello and welcome, group 2, for what 2023 has in store for you. Thank you so much for being here. All right, and please remember, you can always cancel, clear, reject, or not take something that feels, negative or confusing, or something that you don't resonate with or want to have, okay? This year, I feel like you could be recovering what has been the magic that has been lost, the abilities that have been lost, things that you could feel have been lost or buried. You could be recovering that or finding that again, okay? There is an increase of money or wealth or prosperity here, okay? And there's also this kind of this acknowledgement of, or this seeing attachments that is here, and recognizing what they are and what they mean, and kind of pulling the mask off, or pulling those falsities off. And I feel like that's in tandem with opening the doors to more prosperity for you, and even rediscovering this magic. It's kind of going back to what's underneath all of these attachments that don't define us, but sometimes that we maybe feel that they do. Yeah, this is basically saying that the passage forward could be being stopped by strong attachments or old patterns. Could be fear about the future. And to me, this is the release of it this year, or working on seeing this and seeing how huge of a result it has when you work on seeing that and start to release those. Not just release them, like get them out, but more seeing them is the release in a lot of ways. It brings the illumination to that, into that reality. Okay? You could feel like it's hard to go forwards for a moment. That is possible. And then later, you start to feel more of that movement and motion. Okay? And these attachments can be anything. I think you also will recognize the value in them, however. I don't really believe that anything is just there for no reason and it's just like all burden. I really feel that there's always something, there's always a reason, there's always something to be seen, heard, understood, learned, okay? But I feel like once you see these, you're going to decide you no longer want to wear this mask this year, okay? That's kind of the vibe I get, especially when I look at the description there. It's kind of like recognition opens everything up, okay? Recognition reminds you. Recognizing, oh, I'm attached to this, or I'm doing this, or I can actually let this go and still be okay, if not thrive. There's a real there's a real revelation that kind of comes with this. All right, what else is going on for you guys? What else is in store for you in 2023? So also with this door to value, this is a lot about abundance, prosperity, increased wealth, whatever that might mean for you, more money. And again, I feel like this happens after we see the attachments. You could have already been working on seeing some of these attachments, recognizing them, and working to shift, okay? To shift from those maybe habits, emotional patterns, addictions, situations, whatever it is that feel restrictive or like burdensome. But you may even remember like, oh yeah, this is something, this attachment is something that is actually a big part of why I'm staying where I am, or why it's hard for me to do something. And then you're like, man, this isn't worth it anymore. I'm gonna really try to change this up, or to shift this, or to understand this. And bam, you see your life change in a very physical way from that. But I still feel this is something you've already been doing a bit, okay? The magic and the alchemy comes with that, okay? The manifestation, the creation. Anything else for group 2? 2023 has in store for them? Yeah, wisdom. This is you learning, you understanding. And that's what it feels. It feels like, for example, you see an attachment, you see a pattern, you see something going on, and you feel like it's limiting you somehow. So you start to research, you start to learn, you start to gather and understand, like, you know, how can you change this? Or where does this come from? Why is it here? Maybe you treat it with a lot of respect, which is recommended, and you really try to approach it not as something that needs to be abolished, but something that you want to understand. And by giving it that understanding and that compassion, you're able to free yourself of the way that it could burden you. Okay, movement, choices, and decisions, similar energy here. A lot of prosperity. There could be some kind of a marriage or a union for some of you, or an engagement, a deeper commitment. Okay, I do feel like there is a big focus on the material gain, especially in the maybe later part of 2023 here. And I just feel in general things are opening up for you. You could be learning a lot and using what you've learned as well, gaining a lot of wisdom, okay? Especially spiritually. I don't really know if these cards came out, okay? But I do feel if you do literally meet conflict and defeat this year, if you meet stagnancy, I do feel that the attachments are at the root, okay? And what those attachments represent, because the attachments are still part of a symptom of something. Maybe they represent fear. Maybe they represent you wanting to cling to some kind of stability. Maybe they represent you not feeling like you're enough, or trying to cover up something. Let's say you have an attachment to drinking 5 cups of coffee a day, and you know it's expensive and not the best for your health, but you can't cut it because you don't know where else to get energy from. And maybe at the root of that is actually a health journey, or the realization that if you need to drink 5 cups of coffee to survive the day, that maybe the day that you're having isn't the day that really feels right for you to have, you know, or the work, the job, whatever it is. It's that kind of a thing. It can also go for people. All right. What else is going on in 2023 for group 2? What else is in store in 2023 for group 2? Nice. New emotional beginnings. That's a beautiful energy. Emotional release, understanding, beginnings, purging, connecting, sharing. Could be new love, or something that you love that is new here. Remembering, receiving, both giving your emotions, giving your feels, and then receiving gifts, okay? Could be completing or finishing a project here. There is some hard work indicated here in 2023. Okay, but nothing that doesn't feel good in a way. not feel good, but it feels like some hard work, it's like you're just hitting a wall over and over. This hard work, it's like you're really you're making something move forwards by doing it. You're making something progress by doing it, okay? And it's not always the easiest, but it's awesome. And the finish line is there. It's in sight, okay? We see hope here after some kind of defeat, okay? And we also see moving out of fear-based mindsets here, expansion in the mind. So that's great. It's a good sign of success. It can also be moving away from people who are out to kind of hurt or betray you, or just they're not maybe out for that, but they're in a fear-based mindset. So they're not maybe the most upfront, honest, or integrity run people, situations, whatever. I feel you moving away from that. Definitely just finding more hope, more life force as well, more understanding, more movement, okay? Yeah, I mean, of course, you've got the Tower energy here to start off 2023, or in the near beginning, which is change. It's just change, okay? And it's good change. It's necessary change. I know it doesn't always feel that way when it happens, but it is. Anything else in 2023? For group 2, and anything to say about this Tower? Please and thank you. I hear stop, like a song that goes stop. So you might just learn to stop something. This is water energy you could be dealing with, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, kind of a masculine energy, or it could just be a lot of emotional maturity, a very generous energy. Okay, could be completing or finishing up some karma here, but quickly, I think, leaving that behind, or quickly moving through that, okay? I feel like there's something about creativity here as well, that's not, like, in the beginning of 2023, it's not fully moving forwards, but it wants to. Like, it could be a creative project, or your creativity, or your passion somehow. Anything else to say about this Wheel of Fortune in 2023? Reversed Wheel of Fortune in 2023. Please and thank you. Yeah, I feel like later in the year you move towards something you're very passionate about or creative about. Could also be fire sign here, water sign. Friendship seems to be highlighted here. They could help you to usher in change or move forwards in a sense. I feel like you're releasing, one of the attachments you could be releasing as well is a concept, okay? A fantasy, an overlay, a filter, that something is happily ever after, emotional fulfillment, that it is, or that something has to be that way, or what that means. I feel like you could be releasing that concept. You could be finding value in other kinds of connections too. Yeah. All right, let's grab a couple more here and then we will close up. Anything else for group 2 that you would like to point out, Spirit, for 2023? Please and thank you. Anything else for group 2 that you would like to point out? Nice. You will find the tower. I don't feel like it's a huge tower. I feel like you're going to find stability shortly after this change happens. Okay, whatever this change is, you're going to find your groove, your rhythm, your stability shortly after. Restabilize. You're not going to have a perpetual change this year, I don't feel. The change could be your self-driven change to release certain attachments, yeah, and to try new ways. But you're not going to be perpetually in a state of like falling or things falling around you. Okay, you're going to be in a state of building here. It won't always be clear perhaps the progress that you're making, but you are making progress. Okay, you may also decide, hey, this isn't really working for me. I'm not really happy with this. I don't really know how to sustain this, so I'm going to make a different choice, you know. And then you build in a new way, and, you know, you start to change that up and to just find a different system, a different rhythm with how you build things up. I do feel like you have what you need with you here. Funny, a couple of these cards came out for group 1 as well. I think it was the Ace of Cups in a different deck. And then this 4 of Wands. This is the card of marriage or of deep unions, engagements, contracts, coming together, unifying, okay? I feel you might choose like love over money this year at some points, even though you've got money coming in, okay? The irony of that. Or it might just be more that you're not looking at a decision based on stability or comfort or even logic or on physical means. You're looking at situations more based on inspiration and passion and movement, okay? Where you feel inspired to go. Inspired action feels like a strong theme as well for you in 2023. So you guys, that's what we have for you. Sending you lots of love. You guys can always email frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries. That's the only way to set up a personal reading with us, okay? So be careful out there. All right, take care. Hello and welcome group 3 to what does 2023 have in store for you. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember that you guys only need to take what resonates. If something is negative or confusing or just doesn't sit right with you, you don't have to take it on ever. I am feeling a similar energy in all the groups, even though it's varied, it's different details. There is an energy of kind of the old things that we no longer need or that are not serving us, kind of moving on from that, okay? Seeing that and moving forwards. And here, there's a similarity. So you've got this depth energy going deep within, going deep into your psyche, subconscious depths. Some of you are going into, you know, therapy or doing some kind of even hypnosis therapy or like some kind of like a deep, even like a psychotherapy. Some kind of therapy here could be happening for some of you. You could be deciding to work with someone to assist you. But I feel like you could be going, even regressing, going back into your memories here, going back even before your birth in a sense. But just a lot of deep thoughts, deep feelings, deep emotions that you could be exploring. There is a certain peace and stillness within that, which is great. But by doing this, I feel like you're gathering the strength to walk on, to walk away from something, okay, that may no longer, again, no longer serve you, or just that you feel the time has come, okay? Let's go ahead and see what the book says about that. Yeah, this is a situation that's existing that you could decide to walk away from here, and you might be going into the unknown, yeah? But it's going to feel like a relief and a release, and you've got this guide here with you as well, which is awesome. Okay, you could be just deciding to leave the familiarity of a situation, recognizing what it is or isn't giving you, an old habit, something like that, a personal belief. You could be walking on from that, all right? So very beautiful energy. Anything else to say about this 2023 for group 3? What's going on? Yeah, positive movement forwards. It's all about movement for you guys. Walking on, walking forwards, going on, okay? This is really cool. You could set out, you could move, you could sail out, you know, you could decide this isn't suiting me, this isn't working for me, the situation isn't happening, and I'm gonna go, okay? You could look deep within yourself to realize that. This is your choice, okay? You're going to remove yourself from habits, addictions, dependencies, people, things that feel toxic or are no longer serving you or are suppressing, or you, them, you know, it's a mutual thing, but are suppressing your communication even, your clarity of thought or your light, the way you're able to function. You're going to not do this. Some of you could literally be crossing an ocean here. That's possible. It won't be for everyone, but that can be. Yeah, this is destined energy. Wheel of Fortune, favor, luck, you know, it's in your favor. Luck is in your favor. The energy of destiny, the energy of the universe, the energy of recognition that you've risen out of something is here. You've got a very nice harmonic energy going on as well. You could find a deeper love within a situation, or a new love altogether, or this can also be love within yourself, harmony with your heart, with your desires, okay? Coming into flow and harmony because you decide, hey, I'm going to choose this for myself. This isn't working for me and it's time to walk on. So that's going to bring a lot to you. It could bring so much kind of flow, balance, a harmony, movement, connection. Things are really flowing for you, okay? There's a real nice system of flow going on. This is a really beautiful energy, a very beautiful year for you, group 3. Yeah, you could spend some time alone here at a point, and during that alone time you could be gathering information. That is true. Or you could be reflecting, you could be going into that depth. Here you've got your movement, choices, and decisions coming through. So you are going to have to, you know, at some point decide, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What choice do I want to make? Yeah. And it's more than likely you're going to choose to walk on, to walk away, to walk forwards, to move forwards. Okay. This is a really beautiful breakthrough. Really similar to group 2, but different at the same time. It's interesting. It's like variances of one energy in 2023. Anything else going on for you in 2023, group 3? Nice. The sun, clarity, a burst of clarity, a burst of knowing, a burst of even decision, of light here, of happiness, even wholeness, freedom. You could really be setting yourself free, okay? And it's the time to do that. Right? This is disempowerment that you may have experienced here, could be experiencing, feeling disempowered. I feel like you're going to set yourself free from what binds you, what mentally binds you or makes you feel helpless, or what makes it where you don't see, you know, or after a time of feeling disempowered or not being able to totally see, comes that sight, comes that clarity, it comes that sun energy. Here comes the sun, that song. Here comes the sun. Right? Nice. You could be starting a new source of income, or a new home, a new car, boat, something like that. Something kind of beginning stages, a new business. Could be also dealing with a younger or a more youthful kind of earth energy here. Keep seeing the Hermit. That's also Virgo energy, but that is like this reflective, you know, reflecting, gathering, reflecting on the self, spending time to the self here. Okay, you're not going to settle for the same old this year. There's a lot of clarity and a lot of revelation that happens in 2023 for you. Okay, a lot. The Sun and the High Priestess in reverse have a very similar meaning for me as a reader. Very centered on, you know, clarity and revelation, truth, seeing the hidden, seeing the unknown. We're seeing some anxieties here on a mental level, some overthinking. Why? It's probably about the change. And it's probably because sometimes it's hard to see all the clarity at once, you know. And this could be anxieties about money, about stability, about legacy, about family, about a committed situation. Do I want to bring something back or not? It could be about schedule. It could be involving an air energy or a very logical person as well. That's possible. The situation could contribute to anxieties, or you could just have a lot of overthinking and thoughts about that. I still feel no matter what, you're getting that clarity, okay? Could decide to cut off communication with somebody as well. I also see rewards and payout from long-term investments coming through here. Very nice energy for you, group 3. It's going to be a whole year. So, I mean, there's going to be things that'll happen. There will be struggles and different things at times. But I feel like your mind tells you about the worry more than the actual reality needs to be worried about. Okay? Anything else to say in 2023 for group 3? Please and thank you. That's happening. Nice. Restabilization, healing the heart after any kind of disappointments, heartache, heartbreak. Every single group had the Four of Wands out. So my collective here that's seeing this video, no matter what pile you chose, yeah, the details are nuanced, but I am seeing deeper unions and inspired action this year, even if it's in different ways. For you, I really feel you could decide on a path, and I feel like that's part of what this Four of Wands is really saying, is you really decide on a path and you commit to it and you go for it, because it's the one that really inspires you. It's the one that really, you know, leads you, guides you forwards. Yeah, it's just, it's really strong, and this path is going to bring a lot of stability. I feel, yes, this could be marriage and contracts, you know, it's possible, because that's also what that represents. But I really feel here, like, no matter what it actually is, it's all about you kind of committing to something. Divine timing is definitely at play. And there is vulnerabilities that you will be exploring this year that will actually assist you a lot. It's like everything works to your favor and in your advantage, and you're starting to recognize that once you break out of some of these anxious energies. You do have a new beginning here, definitely, in the physical. Like a new job, you're moving somewhere, or you're getting a new job, or you're having a new relationship. Some of you could get married, something that's come out and everything, or engaged, or sign a really important contract this year. Like a multiple year long, 3 year, 5 year contract or something, maybe longer. I just feel greater, you're opening up to greater trust as well this year, especially with yourself. You're putting more focus maybe on action than on the mental, because I feel like the mental can still be challenged at times, especially if we overthink, but the action is not, the physical is not as much. That's more of your guidance, is that inspired kind of movement and action. Beautiful. So overall, you guys, it's just all about this positive movement forwards, okay? Very, very strong energy here. And also moving forwards, but also walking on from, yeah. It's a pretty year. There's a lot that's going to begin for you. There's a lot that's going to be established for you. And there's a lot of relief and release, all right? There can be some expansion as well for you and healing here. So y'all, that's what we have for you. You can always email us frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries. But until then, please take care and be well.